So the time has come. Project Freebie is looking good in its royal blue colour after I detailed it. It's looking a lot better. Yep, but the time has come now, as you guys are about to see when I take you inside, what's going to be happening today and for the next following weeks is going to be this. It's a fuel tank for a Mark 3 Golf, uprated fuel pump, petrol straps, and as you can see the engine is looking actually really quite nice. I've also used that Euro 16 valve Group N kind of manifold system on it, the equal length, wrap that up as well as also I got the original heat shield cover to go on there. There's only a few more bits to go on, like the alternator again. I had to take the alternator off to put it actually on that. So I need to source another one. Just put the manifold on, a few little bits and pieces, timing belt on. I need to find the bolt for here. I can't find it, but if needs be, I have to order one from VW. Okay, so moving over now to the fuel tank and what is going to be done today. Today I'm going to be dealing with this basically. It's going to be a bit of a how-to video, so it is going to be part of the Project Freebie kind of project. But as a lot of you guys have asked, I'm going to be doing like a step-by-step on this conversion. You know, this also applies to people doing a 20 valve or a VR6 in your non-GTI, you know, in your carburetor cars. Also, if you are actually got a GTI, you want to get rid of the two pumps, one inside, one underneath, and you want to simplify the system. Obviously, if you have KJet, you can't really do this on a 16 valve, but if you have a normal GTI, you want to have a nicer system or an easier system, an updated system, you can also use this. So what you're going to need for this conversion is the Mark 3 fuel tank with pump. You're going to need both lines, the blue and the black one, and the all-important wiring that goes to the fuse box. Now, if you guys watch to the end, I'll kind of show you guys exactly where this goes in the fuse box and how to wire it up and stuff. In this case, I've actually put an uprated fuel pump in here. So if you want to see how that's done, there is a video. If you look on the playlist for Project Freebie, you'll see this. I showed you guys how to do the uprated fuel pump. The reason why I've done that is maybe tomorrow I might supercharge it or turbocharge the ABF. Who knows what happens. And at least I've got fuel to cover me with that endeavor. Yeah, so I guess without no further ado, let's get Project Freebie in and let's jack it up and actually remove the tank and show you guys what's involved in this conversion. Okay guys, so as with when you're messing with fuel and anything, we might as well start with the battery. That's the first port of call. So let's actually disconnect the battery and actually remove the battery and then jack this car up at the rear and start removing the fuel tank and the fuel lines. Next thing to do after the battery is to actually go into the boot and remove this cover and actually disconnect the fuel lines. That looks like it hasn't been touched in over 30 years. Look at the amount of dust and dirt there. With some side cutters, just remove these little crimp-on clips. So next, open the filler cap, and you've got this little boot around here. Now there's actually a little wire in here, a spring clip that actually holds this in place. There you go, and then you can, so as you can see, then it allows you to actually push the boot through. That's kind of free now. Next we're going to do jack it up, take off this rear wheel, and then we can actually start. There's two screws here that hold the filler neck to the body. These actually do rust. So let's see what kind of condition these are in. And then we can actually get the straps off. So underneath here by the wheel arch, you can see these two 10mm bolts. Let's see if they come off clean. You need to remove that before you remove the straps. Okay, so the bolts came out clean. No issues there. So now we can move on and get the jack underneath and actually drop the tank. The tank's on the floor, but I will say be careful. I just got like, look at all the dirt, 30 years of crust just fell into my ear. Ugh, not a nice feeling. I had to try and shake that out of my ear. Look at that. Yeah, loads of dirt. Okay, so that's the tank ready to come out. Right, so we've got the tanks here side by side. You can see how this one's nice and clean because I've cleaned it. So you can see they're very, very similar. Even where the hole goes, there's only one on the Mark III tank, where there's two on the Golf Mark II. I think you only need the one. You could drill the other one if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna leave it with the one for the earth strap. So you can see it's quite simple. Also, I removed the lines, which is quite easy from underneath, just unclip them. Now, this is a purge pipe, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do with this? You need that, so it's quite easy really. Just remove the lid. This is the Mark II little boot. I gave it a clean, that sits up top, and then what you can do is literally just turn it 90 degrees, like so, and it literally just fits straight into there, and there's like a little pressure relief valve, and then just kind of, when the fuel reaches a certain pressure, it actually vents it off into the cap, so it's fine. Also, another nice added bonus with having the Mark III tank is, for safety, you've got the smaller neck, which is the Mark II doesn't have, so you could easily fill it up with diesel by mistake. Whereas with the Mark III one, like I said, it's got the narrower, it's got the safety feature of really difficult to fit diesel in there because it won't actually fit through the nozzle. So yeah, that's another bonus. Something else I do is I also always put some tape at the end of the fuel lines, because when you push it up through the chassis leg, you'd be surprised how much dust and dirt might be in that chassis leg over the years, and it will actually fall into your fuel pipe, into the return or into the feed. So that isn't a good look. So always just put some tape at the end of the line before you feed it up through the chassis leg. And just to show you, look at all that dirt, and that would have gone maybe potentially into the fuel line. So yeah, both lines are through now. Now it's a matter of just clipping them on underneath and getting to the point where they were up under the chassis leg, and also mounting the fuel filter housing as well. There's also, the spot is there actually for it originally on the Mark II as well. All right, so I fed all the lines through. Now I'm going to show you guys what I've done. Also, don't forget the orientation of which way goes which. The blue is on this side, which is the return, the feed. The black one is on that side, because that's how it is when you put the pump in. As you can see, the fuel filter housing fits perfectly there, and the lines are done all the way down to the engine bay. Plug and play, all original. Now comes the tricky bit, which is balancing the fuel tank and putting the straps on. So I got the screw on, actually, to have the right location, to have it a bit more centered. I've had to drill the hole slightly to the side of it, so that then it sits kind of centered there, and it's perfect. So that's kind of underneath done now. So I just put the wheel back on, put it back on the floor. All right guys, so as you can see, I got this on the floor and I've already put the fuel pipes on. Blue is return, black is feed. Now, here's the difference is on a normal non-injection car, you've just got 2 pins. This one, you've got 4. Now you do need a de-pinning tool. You can cut and solder if you want, but I like to de-pin. So basically what I'm going to do now is just de-pin these. They're pretty straightforward. The purple and black goes with the purple and black, and the brown goes with the brown. And then we'll show you, we'll run the wire around, run it to the fuse box, and I'll show you guys where it goes in the fuse box. But here it's pretty simple. So let me just de-pin this. If you're doing anything like conversions and stuff, and there you go, clicked in. Do the other one now. All done, and that's it now. Now I'm just going to run this wire along with the other one. So once you've screwed the cover on, make sure you're not pinching this wire and that it's loose, it's not cutting into the power lead. All right guys, so I've run the wire through up to the fuse box, dropped the fuse box down. It's a 6-pin plug, and on the original car, it's only got 2 wires. Hopefully you can see that there. It's got the purple and black one and the brown one. I'm going to de-pin these, and I'm going to put the purple and black one into the same location there. And this earth here, I'm going to splice it off and actually solder this earth onto this one as well, so that they share the same earth, because it seems to be what the clocks maybe might want. Yep, so that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully you guys can just about see what I've done. De-pinned it, and I've soldered the earths together, and now it's just a case of just plugging it back into its location and then fitting the fuel pump relay. So that's basically where the fuel pump relay goes, number 167. You can also, there's a few variants of numbers. I think number 80 does the same thing, I think, and there may be another one as well, but yeah, that's the location for it. And then you just wire it in the ECU signal or wherever you're going to be putting it from the back of the fuse box, pin number, and then yep, you'll have power to your fuel pump, and job done. Really quite simple. All right guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will answer. I'll try to answer as much as I can, as many as I can. All right guys, thanks for watching again. Please subscribe, ding-a-ling-a-ling, click on that notification bell, and be safe.